received dividend during financial year 2021 and wondering how much tax is supposed to pay on same? Or did you sell any shares in financial year 2021 and generated some profits on which you want to determine your tax liability? If yes, then please do watch this video till the end to get your answers. Hi friends, welcome to my channel. I am C. Shilpa Surana, and in today's video we are going to discuss tax implications on receipt of dividend during the year and tax liabilities on profit generated from sale of equity or equity oriented funds. So let's begin. First we will discuss about the tax implications on receipt of dividend because that's pretty simple, and then we will try to understand what is the tax liability on profit generated from sale of equity or equity oriented funds. So if you have received dividend during financial year 2021, you will be taxed as per your applicable slab rate. So if you fall in 30% tax bracket, you will be taxed at the rate of 30% on the dividend value which have been received during the year. So for example, if you have received 100 rupees as a dividend, you will be taxed at the rate of 30% on that 100 rupees. So 30 rupees will be your tax liability. Now coming to the tax liability on profit generated from sale of equity or equity oriented fund. For this, we will be discussing three different scenarios, and you need to identify which scenario you fit in because your tax liability will be dependent on that. So the first scenario is where you are buying and selling the equity or equity oriented fund on the same day. So you buy today, you sell today. This is known as an intraday trade, and in cases of intraday trade, you will be taxed as per your applicable slab rate. So if you fall in 30% tax bracket, you will be taxed at the rate of 30%. If you fall in 20% tax bracket, you will be taxed at the rate of 20%. And mind it, the 20% or 30% will be applied on the profit element which has been generated from the sale of such equity or equity oriented funds. So this is scenario number one which we spoke about, and it was about intraday trade. Scenario number two is where you are holding an equity or equity oriented fund for 12 months or less and then you are selling it. So you are holding it for 2 months, 3 months, 5 months, any number of months up to and within 12 months will be considered in this scenario. And if you are selling any such security and generating gains, it is known as a short-term capital gain. Taxes will be levied at the rate of 15% on the profit element which has been generated from sale of such security. So suppose you are buying a security at 100 rupees, you are selling that security within a period of 2 months at 200 rupees, you have generated 100 rupees profit, and on this 100 rupees at the rate of 15% you will be charged tax which comes to 15 rupees. So the third scenario is when you are holding a equity or equity oriented fund for more than 12 months and then you are selling it. So suppose you are holding it for 2 years, 4 years, 8 years or any number of years but more than 12 months and you are selling it. Then if you generate any gain on sale of such security, then it is known as a long-term capital gain and you will be taxed at the rate of 10%. Two important things to note in long-term capital gains. First one is exemption up to 1 lakh rupees. So if you have generated any long-term capital gain, then up to 1 lakh rupees it is exempt. Beyond 1 lakh rupees, whatever is your gain value, you will be taxed on that differential value. So if you have generated a 5 lakh rupees gain, 1 lakh will be exempt and the remaining 4 lakh will be taxed at the rate of 10%. So the second important thing to note in long-term capital gain is the benefit of grandfathering concept. Let's try to understand what is this grandfathering concept with one example. Suppose you are selling an equity share of Infosys on 28th of February 2021 at 2000 rupees, and presume you acquired the share on 1st of April 2016 at 1200 rupees. If I am supposed to calculate the profit element on this transaction, how would I do that? It will be very simple. Selling price, which is 2000, minus the cost of acquisition, which was 1200, and it comes to 800, and tax will be 10% on this 800. But important thing to note here is that you can take the benefit of grandfathering concept. As per grandfathering concept, you can disregard your actual cost of acquisition on 1st of April 2016, which was 1200 rupees, and you can consider the share price which was there on 31st of January 2018 on the BSE or NSE. So in this case, suppose the Infosys was trading on BSE or NSE at 1500 on 31st of January 2018, then I can consider this 1500 as my new cost of acquisition, and I can calculate my profit basis this cost of acquisition of 1500. So now in our original example, if I am selling it at 2000 rupees, I can consider 1500 as my cost of acquisition, and my new gain will be 500 rupees, and tax will be levied on 500 rupees at the rate of 10%. Important thing to note in this grandfathering concept is that you should have acquired your security on or before 31st of January 2018. Only then you can take the benefit of this grandfathering concept. So now we have discussed all the cases. Let's try to quickly summarize this. If you have received dividend, it will be taxed as per your applicable slab rate. If you have done an intraday trade, it will be taxed at the rate of your applicable slab rate, 20%, 30%, whichever tax bracket you fall in. If you have gained a short-term capital gain, it will be taxed at the rate of 15%. If you have gained a long-term capital gain, it will be taxed at the rate of 10%, and you can consider taking the grandfathering concept benefit if you have purchased your security on or before 31st of January 2018. So this brings us to the end of this video, guys. Thank you for watching. If you like my video, please do like, share and subscribe. If you have any questions, please do mention in the comment section below. Stay home, stay safe. Thank you.